Yo, what's up?
How you going?
We've got our Green and Lorenzo Armiento here tonight.
Yeah.
All right, Lorenzo is running Mini Hoopsters.
Mm-hmm.
A very good coach, helping out the youth here in basketball and trying to develop the young skills. And the great our Green, former MVP of the NBL. Man, welcome. Such an honour having you here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Just pull this a little bit closer to you. Yeah. All right, you have to lean forward, you can lean back, whatever.
Yeah.
But hey, I want to ask you, right? So you're from, obviously, America, right? Whereabouts America you're from?
Bronx, New York.
South Bronx? Or?
South Bronx it is, yeah. Right by Yankee Stadium, 178th Street, Grand Concourse.
What was that like growing up?
It was tough. Back in those days, it was real tough.
Yeah, man.
It's changed a lot. New York has cleaned up a lot. But back there, you had to fight to survive. And that's what we learned how to do.
Yeah, man. I can imagine, there's so much to talk about with you because, growing up through high school, you're such, a talented athlete, not just basketball player, but athlete in general. And, you're one of the rare ones that were sort of going to be drafted to the NFL and NBA at the same time. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. I was fortunate because I think the scouts seen something in football that I can give to that game, even probably more than what they felt I can do with basketball. So I got lucky. I thought I was getting drafted by the Dallas Cowboys because I got a letter at home, still have it, a written letter by Dallas Cowboys saying that they are going to draft me in the draft. They were very impressed with the way I ran the 40-yard sprint thing, and they really look forward to seeing me. But San Diego Chargers beat them to the punch. Yeah, they picked me up earlier in the draft than what Dallas was planning on.
Wow. So do you remember what you ran your 40 yards in back then?
I think it was 4.2, something like that. It was probably one of the second fastest that year.
Man.
Yeah.
And so had you ever played football?
Never played football before, ever.
So pure just athleticism.
Yeah.
I thought you played.
No, man.
No, that's awesome.
I had they at school they test you for the jump and everything.
Yeah.
So I had a 40 vertical jump.
Yeah, 40 inch.
Yeah, 40 inch. So I'm touching, my elbows touching the rim, right?
It's like D Rose, man. Another one had a 40 inch. Yeah.
So that's where then the speed and the strength and everything else came in with it, and they just felt that. And the way I played basketball I played physical.
Yeah.
So they thought it could fit into the NFL.
So what happened from there?
Basically, I had a contract. I went to mini camp with the San Diego Chargers. That means not the veterans, just the mini camp with all the rookies.
Yeah.
Then they invited me back to veterans camp. Went to veterans camp, did really, really well. And then they did talk to me, and they told me, can I fly my agent in and sit down and have a chat about me signing a contract? And we did. Yeah. We talked. And I said to them, let me think about it overnight, right? Because that was a big move for me to quit
100%.
basketball, to take something up that I've never done before. So I went back to the hotel because we were in San Diego, and thought about it all night. Woke up. You have that feeling in the morning that it's just not me. I'm a basketball player. I know I can go somewhere else around the world. If the NBA I don't make it, I can do something else in another country where I'll be proud of what I'm about as a basketball. So I said to them, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. Because you'd worked your whole life being a basketball player, right?
Yeah.
It's that was your dream to obviously do basketball, but the offer was so good.
Yeah.
It's so appetizing that you're like, hey, I have to consider it.
Oh, you definitely, but I think sometimes you have to go with your heart.
Yeah, man. It's a wise decision, man, because you got to love what you do, no matter what it is.
Worked out well in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Hey, I'm walking him not on crutches. my back is going, man. I'm telling you, man, no joke. I'm a type of guy, I always had this philosophy, the bigger they are, the harder they fall,
Yeah, man.
And I looked a bit, when I went to that change room with the pro football players, I'm looking at some of these boys, like the refrigerator, remember the old refrigerator? Yeah. All those guys, like 300 and something pounds, and some of them, like, they were doing their weight, so they had their little cut-off T-shirts, and they had no neck. It was all muscle drop. And I'm just looking like, wow, these guys are huge. I don't know about all that, right? But honestly, I know if I felt it, I would have been all right, because I step up to the challenge, bring it on. You know, the bigger they are, the harder they fall.
MVP
right?
mindset, bro.
There you go. There you go. But I didn't feel it.
Nah, that makes sense. All right, and you've known Lorenzo for a long time too.
Oh yes, yeah.
Because Laurie, you're one of the well-known basketball gurus in Adelaide for sure. I don't think I know a bigger Michael Jordan fan than Lorenzo, and you probably know more people than I do, but I think you can attest to that.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
I mean, me and him had plenty of talks. Plenty of talks, you know. And he even told me about the trip when he went to Chicago. They made him wipe the floor almost.
I got told to get off. I was let me just touch the wood.
Trying to get everything on.
Man, he came back and was telling me, though, he loved it. So,
Oh, man.
I mean, it's good to have people that's dedicated to it, just like we are, man. The players are. You get the guys that's, and he's played the ball. He had a little sweet J. My old bum played against him when he was playing with West Adelaide. And we both come from West Adelaide. That's the club that brought me over.
Yeah.
And West Adelaide was a good club.
I love the West Adelaide.
Yeah.
Very Bulls colours.
Yeah. Bulls colours. That's right.
Yeah, man. So, because when you would have been going through, I mean, the peak of the '80s, there was Magic Johnson and going to Michael. Like, there was just the best of the best players that have played the sport were going through that sort of time. So, you end up going to NBA in the end after the NFL, yeah?
No. I basically had a couple of tryouts.
Yeah.
I got drafted to Phoenix.
Yeah.
Went to tryout, was the last cut. Then I always said I'll give something 2 goes. Something I really felt if I would have hung on and chased that dream, maybe happen in 3, maybe 4 years. I think I could have got in, but I'm a type dude like, yo, man, I'm gonna just take my skills somewhere else. Yeah. So I did it the first year with Phoenix because I got drafted by Phoenix and was the last one cut. Then that same team made it to the grand final. Yeah. Phoenix Suns.
Because you were shooting guard then?
Yeah, he was Paul Westphal and all those guys. Walter Davis, remember all that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying to Michael before is, congratulations to all the Australians that are over there now. I said, but I think a lot of the, especially 80s and 90s, the talent that tried it, that were in the NBL like yourself, Mark Davis, Robert Rosler, Nan Copeland, had some games over there, but the talent was probably actually better that tried out back in the 80s and 90s. It was just the stars that were over there then. It was just the wrong time.
And it was the wrong time because the ABA just folded 2 years before.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you say, it's funny you bring up those type of names, but the real graceful ones, it's really amazing. Let's say Leroy. Leroy wouldn't have never got a look in America. Leroy, to me, was the best American ever played out here. I mean, he played with us at Westies. Yeah. Right? I love Leroy. I love playing with Leroy.
Yeah.
Right? He was the best import that came out here to play basketball, but he went to a real small school.
Yeah.
Never heard of no All-American, no nothing.
Yeah.
Right? No kind of status, but came out here and balled. Ones that you could say that had clout, Ricky Grace.
Yeah.
Ricky Grace, where he played at Oklahoma, if I'm not mistaken. I think they won the championship or runner-up or something, right? So he had that clout and still couldn't make it.
Yeah.
Right? So you had like the Rickies and what was the boy? Remember Wayne McLean? The boy played for Sydney.
Yep.
He won the NCAA championship as well.
Yeah.
And he was good. I thought he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Right? So that's
Class.
what kind of tell. But like when you say the Marks and all that, none of them even had a look in America. Didn't even have a look in. So it was the cream of the crop. And he came out here and did well, and that's good. You could be here and do what you got to do. But some of those other guys that were there, they did it with the big boys.
Yeah.
They won championships and they were college All-Americans and all that.
It was just the era.
It
was the timing. Ricky Grace actually got a second tryout in '94, and he actually played against the Bulls with Pippen, Kukoc in the first year Jordan retired, and I think he scored like 15 off the bench in limited minutes. He actually did well. He played 3 games and did quite well. Didn't make it. It was just. But if he was 21, 22 now, probably be a
completely different now.
No, without a doubt.
Yeah,
without a doubt.
Because when you were playing, there still wasn't the 3-point line, was there?
It came in. It started 84. Might have came in 84.
But you set the record without the 3-point line, I believe.
I don't even know what it was.
71.
I 71. I just was shooting it. I don't know. You just give me, just swish. Just give me a point. Give me a point. No.
But your game was actually more like today's style. Back then.
Yeah.
So it's
driving
just
to the basket.
Yeah, it was before its time, and that's how the '86 Sixers were built.
Yeah.
From great Ken Cole.
Yeah.
Style was, that team. Everyone's got their own opinion as to who's the greatest NBL team of all time. Record 86. You lost 2 games.
Yeah.
2. Was it 24-2?
Yeah, and we lost those games by 1 and 2 points.
Oh damn!
That was it.
Buzzer beaters, weren't they?
Yeah. 1.
Both of them.
2. Yeah.
Both buzzer beater games.
We were tied.
Damn.
And they hit the shot, and we lost by 2, and we were up, and then they hit. To
win by
1.
And that's because the last Sixers home game, and Ken Cole got interviewed, and they actually talked about that year, and he said teams were averaging 75-80. You guys were averaging 132.
Yeah.
It's just that's unheard of.
It was unheard of.
The bookies would have been confused. Man.
Yeah, exactly.
It was just, but you had all those great players in their primes. It's just. Like, you look at some of the players, like a lot of the youth these days, they won't know Daryl Pierce, Mike McKaiser. They were like lights out shoot, especially Daryl Pierce. Lights out shot. If he let it go, he was shooting Steph Curry range back then.
That's right.
Off the dribble, off a pick, catch, shoot, but then you had Mark Davis, you had Bill Jones. A lot of
Dwayne Nelson.
You had
bench guys. You had Peter Allied, Davis. No, David really. Ray Woods was. Definitely that was my backcourt partner at West Adelaide. You know what I mean? So we won a championship together.
Yeah.
Me and him. Peter Allied. We won a championship together, and that Westies group made up the 36ers. Really, they combined the team. We had 5 guys from West Adelaide come to the 36ers. Everybody swept that under the carpet, right?
Yeah. That's crazy.
And then with the coach.
Yeah, man.
Because Ken was our coach at West Adelaide.
So I never heard the story. Why didn't Leroy come over? Because he was West Adelaide.
Leroy, he played with West Adelaide.
Yeah.
And then he went back to Brisbane.
So he was there first.
He was at Brisbane first.
Okay.
Then he came to Adelaide.
Yeah.
He had 2 years with us. Then he went back to Brisbane.
That would have been good in the Sixers.
Oh, yeah.
This guy played till he was 42, 43, and he was still averaging 15, 16 points.
Killing.
It was just
made for it, man.
Yeah. That was different. Like, it's so different back then hearing these stories. And the game's changed so much ever since, But with you, like, going to that first tryout with the Phoenix, like, how did you feel in yourself, like, about to take that step? Having the trial for the NBA team.
I mean, that's your dream.
Yeah.
You go through high school, you play, and most of the guys you're playing against, like me and Moses Malone was good friends, you know what I mean? And you get to meet these guys in all-star camps.
Yeah.
And that's where I got the idea of doing the Tristar camp.
Yeah.
Through 5-star basketball camp where there used to be all Americans, all the best players in the East. Would go to this camp. Even Joey went to the camp. Me and Joey was talking about it, right? And you get to, perform against the best guys, the best young guys. Then everybody start branching out, going their own little separate ways to different colleges.
Yeah.
And then you meet each other again. So when you get to that pinnacle of being in the NBA, in the draft, and you seeing your guys being drafted at the same time, higher or lower, you got something in common. So when you get there, some of the pros know who you are too, you know what I mean? And it was good. It was awesome. It was awesome.
Surreal feeling it must have been, like just sitting there and watching, like playing against the guys you watch on TV. Just that feeling in itself would be. That's what you said, where you thought, I'll give myself a few years to try out again. In those few years, what if you get injured trying out as opposed to going somewhere making money? And
Yeah, that's right.
It would be a hard call.
It was hard because, like I said, Phoenix was that first team I got drafted to, so I had to go.
Yeah.
Right? If I probably would have went to a less of a team than one of the teams, but you always can say that, when you wind back the clock, you hindsight, coulda, woulda, right? Yeah. No, it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But I always give my claim to fame to say I went to Phoenix, and then I had my choice to go to Houston.
Yeah.
And I went to Houston, and I did really well. Everybody had a contract.
Yeah.
Everybody had a contract, and I was hoping Mike Dunleavy was playing, and I was doing very, very well. I'll tell you a quick story.
Yeah.
I was real good friends with Moses Malone.
Yeah.
Because we went to 5-star together.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy named Tom Henderson, he was the point guard for Houston Rockets, right? And he was established. Awesome, right? Awesome. And he's from New York. So they had Calvin Murphy. Remember Calvin Murphy?
Yeah.
Now, Calvin Murphy they were saying the pound for pound, a tough cookie. He can fight. He's, he don't take no stuff. He's quick, whatever, right? Got a temper. Hate preseason, right? So one time, Moses and Tom Henderson came. We were getting ready to go out. No, okay, we were at training, and me and Calvin Murphy got into it, kind of, right? I was bringing the ball down, and he kind of like punched me in the stomach, right? And like
shit.
And I go like, okay, right? So the next play down, I'll come back and I'll post him up and I'll bowled him in the stomach, right? And he went over,
Yep.
right? And he got up, and the coach said, "No, wait, young guys go down here, veterans go down here, right?" And so Tom Henderson and everybody was down the other end, right? And I'm looking at him like, yeah, bring that shit, bring it on, like, see, I'm from New York, bring it on, like, I'm ready, right? And then he just kept staring at me, right? And I'm like, yeah, okay. Then we were going out that night. Moses and them came to pick me up because we were going to a club. Right, and Tom's from New York, so he know me. Like we've been training for the week, but it was the weekend, get ready to come out. That might have been the last training for that week. Like before the weekend. Yeah. And they come get me and they say, "Yo, bro." I go, "What?" Moses said, "Yo, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, we just Moses talk about that." Right? And they go, "Yo, man, we had a bet." I go, "What you mean you had a bet?" He said, "Me and Tom." Before training started, and Moses said, because I know the way you played at the camp, and Tom said, I grew up around you as a little boy in New York. You rough as guts. Yeah. How long before me and him get into a fight? They had a bet. They both had a bet, right? And I said, who won? Tom said, I won. Moses thought it would take about 2 weeks, right? Tom said, it's going to happen in a week. And it happened. You owe me, Moses. We're like, I know my homie. I know my homeboy. He ain't going to take his mess. So, we just laugh. And the funny thing about it, when, we were on the bus and, you have to do a preseason away from Houston and everything else, and we knew what was happening, and they were about ready to release me, and they go, Moses, I heard him, I was sitting kind of like mine, he said, "Man, I swear to God, I want to go to war with this dude, man. I wish next time something come up, I'm going to make sure I have in my contract, I could have a player in my contract, because I want him." Yeah. Al and Tom were like, yeah, man. They got to make it because they couldn't cut Dunleavy or whoever else because they had no cut contracts.
That was all over.
Yeah. Somebody had to want them to think, since there was no spot there. So I like, no, it's all good, what I mean? Like, we were boys, we were cool. Yeah. And that's the way that played out. Yeah,
but you still, we're overlooking like one part of your career, which was college. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean, it was a pretty successful college career,
Oh yeah, I mean, for me to do it all in 1 year because I went to LSU and we wound up losing to Magic Johnson. Yeah, right.
That's crazy.
I had in 1 year, I made honorable mention All-American.
Yeah.
Made All-SEC team.
Yeah.
It was, it was really, really good. And my coach, Dale Brown, he was awesome. He was awesome. We went back to America about 3-4 years ago, and I took my kids to LSU.
Yeah.
And LSU had a picture of me on the football field, but my name, the cheerleaders made Al Green.
Yeah.
Right? And it was in front of the whole, it was awesome. Wow. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And that's, every time I go back there with the kids, they open up, they put the red carpets out.
Yeah.
They put the red carpets out and they show my kids the university, take them to a football game. We went to a LSU football game.
That's all those years later, so it shows the
there you go. And then we're talking about what you said, almost 40 years ago.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow, we're talking almost 40. The people that still work there, one guy, we were on the field before warm-ups.
Yeah.
They were looking at me and they go, Al Green. I said, how you doing? What you doing here? We're here with some kids and, saying I'm living straight. Oh my God, it's so good to see you. You're looking so well. You're looking so good. And I go, thank you. But 40 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So you haven't aged in 40 years, obviously, yeah.
Let me tell you, my inside is killing me. No, I'm just pain. I wake up in the morning, what's hurting today? No. I've been blessed by God in that fashion where I've been lucky.
Yeah, man. It is. If it's working, it's good. Laurie, so you've been doing a fair bit with the younger kids now because there's not really much for kids in basketball for under 7, under 8 years old. Really,
a lot of things start from 5 up, and so I started something called Mini Hoopsters where I do 2 to 4 year olds, 2 to 5 year olds, just to get an introductory to basketball. So they come in, do a little bit of the basic fundamentals, hand-eye coordination, playing fun games while introducing the sport. And just get them, we do stuff that, I'm not looking for a superstar, they're 2 years old, so it's only 45-minute lessons where they come in and they have a little bit of fun. But we're trying to reshape the business, so I'm going to try and do a one-stop basketball shop kind of thing, so you can have something for little kids, can do one-on-one trainings, and I've just been recently advertising to do a domestic team for the Woodville Warriors competition.
Okay.
So I'm looking to get into that where trainings like that would be, there's no plays or anything it's just skill development.
Gotcha.
And that's something that I really want to get into. As you know, I love to shoot. I love growing up watching Michael Jordan. Everyone imitates their favourite player. What did I do? I scored.
Yeah.
And that's what I can teach best myself.
Yes.
But kids, you can do the defensive slides, because I find I go out to a few of the district, the juniors and that, and I'm looking at the skill, but it's not there anymore. And a lot of it is because I think, this team needs a coach. We'll just get a father who's got free time.
Yes.
And while I can appreciate the predicament they're in, we need a coach. But it's not, for me, who, obviously it didn't happen, but for someone who grew up wanting to be a professional athlete, that wouldn't cut it for me. What am I learning? I've got someone here who's just filling in time, where I think the one-on-ones and not just necessarily one-on-ones, if we did a whole team training where it's skill development, that goes a long way.
Yeah.
And I know I started at 6, and I think the love for the sport, it's not just about whether you become a professional athlete or not. I love the game of basketball as much as anyone in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'll fight that till my death.
Yeah, that's awesome. Man.
If I could give, and not necessarily someone become professional, if I could meet a child at 2 years old and just do the fundamentals, by the time they're 6, where they learn, I actually wouldn't mind playing that. If I can give that to another child, that same passion that I had at that age, that's fulfilling for me.
That's right.
Yeah, man. But I've seen some talent at your classes too, some pretty good 5-6 year olds. Some kids can bowl, man.
You better believe it.
At a young age, I'm not even joking. Yeah. They're better than me, dude. Some of them, man.
That's what I mean. In any sport you play, you're going to have that naturally talented person.
Yes.
That's why I start younger, because if I just did a session with no skill base and you get someone who can bowl as opposed to someone who's starting out, the drills are going to be different. That's and
right.
that person might get a bit bored, and that one.
And that's the same thing we have with the camp.
Yeah.
You get 2 different levels. So the thing that we try to do, because we have 175 kids.
175.
175. That's our average. Sometimes we had 200, sometimes we have 159,
Yeah.
60.
I was at your very first one.
Yeah.
Flinders.
Flinders, you got it. Flinders University.
Flinders University was 5 nights sleepover, and that was brilliant.
Yeah. So what you're saying is so true, because then now you're trying to say, if you got the kid that know how to do it, and you drilling him with it, the kid that don't know how to do it is going to lose interest.
Yeah.
Because he's going to look and say, I know I won't be able to do this, so I'm shying away. It's almost like a classroom.
Yeah.
You start to shy away.
Yeah.
And then the same thing happens if you spend more time with that kid that don't know.
Yeah.
The kid that do know go, man, I'm being bored because I'm doing repetitious stuff.
It's true,
I've
man.
been doing
It's
long
so
time
true.
ago. So the thing that I try to do with the camp, and I try to have an A and a B.
Yeah, okay.
And then we balance it out
Sure.
to try to get that
Yep.
situation. So
Exactly.
I know what you're talking about, and especially with the younger ones, because their concentration span is limited, right?
Exactly.
And you really got to think. But you know what I think? And I think if you working with them, and the same thing as what we're doing, who's our worst enemy right now? Is computers.
Oh, yeah.
It's I swear to God,
Yeah.
I'm talking to my boys, I'm going like, yo, dude, we got training. I said, if I got to tell you more than 5 times, we ain't going. Because you don't want to go. Why? I mean, you should be, as soon as I say it's time to go off those computers, and if you got to beat them off the machine,
man.
how is their head when they
do
get to, when they get to training?
Yeah, and that's what I think passion for sports is actually different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to question someone today that says I love basketball, but it is different. I remember growing up, the best part of my week was putting on that uniform. I'm getting ready to go play. Yeah. I love putting on my Westies uniform. It was the best feeling.
Yeah.
Now it's, just because like you said, if you have to get pulled off a machine while you're at training, you're going to think about, I've got to go back because I haven't finished that level.
Yeah. So now what he's doing at that young age, if you can program them to flip it, right, to make them feel that the basketball is, I don't care if it's basketball, football, soccer, whatever, is teaching them to concentrate on the sport, not the machine.
Correct.
So you get them repetitiously working through all that stuff. I think that is, whoever's doing programs, I think it's beneficial to all of us that's in programs.
Yeah.
Because that's where it grows to the next level.
Yeah.
But
because it becomes a discipline, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And their discipline right now is that machine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's the routine.
Yeah,
that's the routine.
I mean, them boys can play it. Where you used to go out there and play 5 hours?
Yeah.
Man, they be on that machine for 5, 8, 9 hours. And the bad thing about it is that they don't bother you.
Yeah.
So out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Out of sight, out of mind.
just chilling.
You just chill. So this is great. Oh man, they upstairs. They still on that machine. You forget.
Man.
But that's why I think skill levels isn't there as you get up, because I think by the time you're under 12s, under 14s, you should not perfect it, but you should know everything. Yeah. What a backdoor cut is, what a back screen is, jump shot, pivot,
Yeah.
But I find you look at under 18s and that when you're under 18, they still don't know how to do a left hand lap if they're right handed and vice versa.
That's right.
That should be like riding a bike. It's easy as 1, 2, 3, And I look at it and I'm just thinking, when I coach teams in district, and I said, when do you play basketball? I said, I'm not going to hold it against you, but put your hand up. Trainings and game nights. What about in school holidays?
No.
Me, I was always playing. Maybe even too much. My parents said, that's how you got better. And
that's right.
And the thing is, and then you get players who go, why am I playing Div 5? Because you don't play.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
And then the parents is like, oh, my kid is better than Div 5. I said, how much work does he put in it? None. He just comes to training. He's always at training. I said, but does he do anything off the court? When you don't have training, that's when you gotta work on your skill level.
But it's everything as a coach. It's not even your personal life. Tim, I'm sure you went through it too. If one person's screwing up, you all do the penalty. Yeah. Now you go, why? I didn't do that.
There you go.
I got it in there. We can't. I remember our warm ups. We had to do. It's very simple. 20 right hand layups in a row.
Yeah.
If you miss, you start again. Same with the left. if you were to do that drill at a lot of trainings, not everyone, at a lot of trainings, you would be there all night doing that drill.
You better believe it.
Yeah.
And that's the issue, because when I was growing up, do you want to play for West Adelaide? Yeah, we'll pay. Are you good?
Yeah.
Now, I will pay our fees. You're in.
Yeah, you go.
Well, that's true. But it's across all sports, man. It's not even just basketball. Like, it's everywhere. Like, these kids get too distracted, you know?
And that's the thing. Like, when are we going to see the next Brett Maher? South Australian.
That's right.
That dominates. We're going to see a lot of Australians come here and dominate, even maybe for the Sixers. But when are we going to see that next South Australian?
From South Australia, yeah, you're right. No, you're 100% right.
Well, where's it going to come from, you know, if it's, if there's nothing to breed them, you know?
Your basketball at some point has to be your life.
And the thing about it, you do have some good talent in South Australia. You definitely do. It's just that, I don't know.
It's
different now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It's just too many distractions. Too many distractions.
At, Joe Ingles, he's South Australian.
Correct.
Yeah.
Joe Ingles is, and, Patty's mom is South Australian.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Patty Mills' mom, South Australian.
The next level.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Now we ain't talking about Brett Maher. We talk about the real deal.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Britt's great. Don't get me wrong.
The NBA careers.
Yeah. But we're talking about guys that got NBA careers that even Mark Brecky was South Australian. He got a shot at it as well.
Yeah.
He was playing with the 76ers.
And he actually left.
Yeah.
Same year Shane Hill made it.
That's right.
And they actually left because they weren't really playing.
Yeah.
I personally would have stayed. But that's the thing. It's unless you get there, there's just. I think that all comes from that discipline. I don't think you're really going to see anyone, especially an American, play 18 years in the NBL. I don't think you're going to see that again. It just doesn't happen.
Yeah, I know. Well, LeBron James is pretty rare these days. So we were just talking about it before. Like, his durability has to be up there with the best. Because now Kawhi Leonard doesn't play back-to-backs.
You're 26 years old, man.
Yeah, and
exactly.
And we're like, this is a joke. Because imagine, like, if you're a Clippers fan and you go and you finally make it to America. So say for me, if I went to the Bulls game and I finally got to a game and say Kawhi was on the Bulls, and that's the one game that's on a back-to-back and he doesn't play, I'll be losing it because I've come all this way to go see this guy.
Happened to me.
Right? What happened to you?
Well, I was there when we went over there for my honeymoon.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Derrick Rose was out.
Yeah.
Joakim Noah was out. Rip Hamilton was out.
Oh my God.
And Noah and Rose, they're my favourite Bulls besides Jordan Pippen and Rodman.
Yeah, hang on, but you're complaining. Didn't the Bulls and the Miami streak when you were there with the team half depleted?
Yes, I saw LeBron lose in person. That was the best. But they're so the way. How do you feel from your era? Do you feel being professional that today's game, like, they get away with too much? They get paid 10 times more for doing less. The skill is not necessarily not there, but it's just. What do? You like Steph Curry's on, what is he, 240 million or whatever for 5 years. Yeah. Michael Jordan, the greatest. I don't care what anyone says, the greatest.
Yeah.
He made maybe 100 mil in his whole basketball career, and you get people
from the contracts.
Yeah.
Not from sponsorship, but yeah.
And most of that was in his last 3 years because he had in '96 they paid him 30, '97 31, and '98 33. And that was just for 1 year. And those records would never be eclipsed. But now you're getting people getting 42 a year.
Easy.
For doing less than half.
Yeah.
You know, and I think today's game, while it's, what's your opinion on, do you think today's game, particularly NBA, while it's fun to watch, do you think it's killed the game?
I think
or hurt
the style is just changing because it makes it a lot more easier for Joe Blow to make it. You know what I mean? Because you get a jump shot and you get good ball handling skills, you could make it.
Yeah, so true.
But back in the old days, you had to be tall, you had to be, like they played.
The package,
you have to be an athlete, you know what I mean? And then if you're Michael Jordan or whatever, you come to the hole, you're going to get hurt. You got to be durable too.
Yeah.
Where here, if you blow on them, they're calling you attack. You're out of the game. You don't come back till next week. You know what I mean? Yeah. But now they protect the player. You know what I mean? They protect the player. And most of the players you protecting, even when they go up for a shot, you can't go under them, you can't do this, you can't do that. It's just changed the whole format, and it is a 3-point shooting game.
To me, I love 3 points, but I think it's too much. Like you're getting people like James Harden, perfect, and you look at Steph Curry, perfect. I don't rate Steph Curry too much because I think he just shoots threes. You know, he can't lock down anyone. If you watch his rebounds, he doesn't box out anyone. He bounces off. Any point guard can really grab that. But you look at that when they score, James Harden, he scores like 59. He's 4 for 18 from the 3-point line. And they're like, he was on fire. No, he's not. If you get someone like Larry Bird, who was a superior scorer and 3-point shooter, he shot 1, maybe 2 a game. Back in those days, if someone hit 4 3-pointers in the game, you were outraged. Man, God, he was on fire. He hit 4 threes. Now people are averaging that per quarter.
I mean, but you know who started the trend? Ray Allen. That. Reggie Miller. Right? They were the true sharpshooters. And then they say, okay, look, you know, you can get, you know, like you even say Steve Nash loved the way he played because he'll take that shot only when he has to, right? Because his whole makeup was get other people, but they made the game, they made the game more European a little bit too, where they're gonna say we can't get the big Europeans to come over here and fight with the big Americans. You ain't gonna win. So we're gonna get them to step outside, and we're gonna teach them how to shoot out from the outside. So now the bigs in America that used to clogging up that middle, got to go out there and guard them.
But I miss that. I miss the big man in the paint.
Oh, me too.
That's what I mean by it's killed the game, and not killed the game in terms of it's boring. But I look at growing up idolizing Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, You grew up playing hard, physical, taking that bumps, and like one of the most inspiring games it should be for any basketball player is the flu game. He couldn't basically walk, and he still played 43 minutes and 38 points. Now LeBron got carried off the court because the air conditioner was off. You got kids coming out, and that's why I'm saying people call him the GOAT. That alone ends the debate. you get kids playing district, they're shooting threes, 3 dribbles in from half court because they see someone else doing it. But you got to understand, Curry's getting paid $40 million. His job is to wake up and shoot threes.
But you know something, if I like Steph Curry for one reason, because he's entertaining. He's entertaining.
Great shooter.
You know, and not even just the
he's
shooting,
got flair.
ball handling,
He's just got flair,
and everything
man.
else too. You know how you want to watch the game, and I love the big man situation, and you know, just sometimes where he pulls up from, and he's not, he's a accurate shooter. He puts that ball in, and you go, how can he shoot from that? It's
unbelievable,
right?
Yeah, the stuff he does.
You know, the thing I respect about his game is that he worked on it. You know what I mean? His dad was a great shooter. He was DNA. He's got the DNA for it. But
grew up around him.
He basically worked on the things he had to work on, because everybody goes, you go out to stop him, he just goes by you and make a little float layups.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You know, like you get around the basket, he's making whippy dippy shots on the other side. You know,
he got told he was too little and all that stuff as well.
Yeah, that part. I do respect him. I'm not saying he's terrible. I'm just saying, like, you know, when they say elite point guards, I think Stockton, Magic, Jason Kidd, you know, the people who
he's
can do
not
it.
Really a point. He's really...
They're not these days, though,
are
they?
No. You know what they are now? And I tried to, when I was talking, even with me and Joey, we were doing Nathan Sobey. They combo guards. Nathan, once you try to make Nathan a point guard, he will never be a point guard. He's a combo guard. So a combo guard means sometime he's going to complement being a point, and he's going to complement being a shooter. Right? He's just got to learn. This is the thing I always preach. You got to pick your poison. You got to pick your poison. You got to read the game and say, this is the time that I'm going to be that facilitator. Or I'm going to set the team up. Now it's time for me to get mines.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
That's what Steph Curry is. He is, and that's why Klay Thompson don't hide behind it. Klay Thompson, like, I'm gonna shut you down, but I am a straight up shooter.
Yeah.
I'm no point. Don't even try it.
Nice.
I'm gonna take 2 dribbles and shoot, if that.
And what immaculate form he
Yeah,
has! Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
unbelievable.
He's actually probably more pure than Steph.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Steph's more superior in terms of the little flick and the real hard. But I reckon if you put him shooting 53's pure shot, Klay probably.
Oh, he'd be close.
It'd be close.
He'd be definitely close.
Everyone will go Steph.
I don't know, man.
Didn't he score 62 with only 3 dribbles or 7 dribbles the whole
Yeah.
That's
He's a straight up shooter.
that doesn't happen in
He's deadly, man.
But I just think that new style of game, it is entertaining, but I do miss putting into the paint and then
let them do, like, the perfect person is Elijah Wan. With the footwork and just the way he just worked around, it was like magic. You know what I mean? On the court, he was like magic footwork. Yeah, magic footwork.
And you see him teaching people now. He still looks smooth.
Yeah. Oh no, I can believe it. That's hey man, that's like riding a bike to him.
Yeah, man. Done that many times.
Yeah, you've done it that many times.
He was just he was very rare at that in the 80s. A big man who could shoot from further than 15. Now, he didn't shoot threes, but he could give you a 20-foot jump shot with ease. David Robinson. He eased into that. Ewing could do it. Yeah. But this guy made top centers look like fools.
Oh yeah.
Pure footwork though. You're right. Yeah. The dream shake.
Yeah.
On a random Tuesday night. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
But like, as we know, the game has changed.
Yeah. Of course.
And that's. Sometimes, like, you see somebody just come down and just jack up a 3, you look like, man, wait. You didn't even give a chance for nobody to come back, to rebound or anything. You just jacked it up.
Yeah.
Like it's no tomorrow.
But that's what I mean. 10 years ago, the bad shots are now common.
Common shots. If you don't do it, you get in trouble.
Yeah, and that's why I think too many people are trying it. There's not many people that can do it.
That's right. And then you got guy dribble all the way to the basket. He's got a layup and kicks it out. How many times do you see that?
A lot now. That's what the NBA is.
I saw it 3 times yesterday, man. You know what I mean? Like, it's just normal.
How many times do you kick it? I mean, if I'm in
take that up, man.
I'm in the paint. You
I don't care I don't care what area it is. You put it in.
That's 2 points.
You got to, man. Yeah. Like, that's what you're there for. It's the best position to be in.
And now Harden's trying that 1 foot 3-pointer. Like, that's insane. Have you seen that? It looks shot. He gets it.
But like,
it's like
they're like a flat out score.
When you have the license, you could do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, you run that squad, man. He runs that team. Like.
That's why I'm worried about Houston. Where do you rate Houston now? Because I think they're going to be just the 1-2 punch, and no one else is really going to get a touch.
See, it just depends, because he's so moody. What's his name again? Russell. He is just so moody. You don't know like what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Right? And seriously, man. It's all good and dandy, but let them lose a few games, and
see where
everybody start pointing fingers. And if they point in his direction, he's so moody he might jump ship.
Yeah.
Me and Harden is boys, me and Harden is this. But when it comes to what they're supposed to do and they don't involve anybody else, now he will give the ball up. Yeah. He'll get in there and kick it out. Yeah. That's one of the things. And he will go hard. So they say you grab the rebound, go coast to coast, is your show.
Yeah.
Once it slows down, give it to Harden and just spread the court.
Yeah.
Because they're actually tipped to give Lakers the biggest run.
I don't think so.
No, it's got to be Clippers.
It's the Clippers.
I think Clippers can't match LA inside.
Just put it close to Lorenzo.
I think Clippers can't match Lakers inside.
Yeah.
But where Lakers can't match, they got no one to guard Paul George.
That's right.
See, Kawhi, he will always be on LeBron, and he can do a great job. He's proven it before. But who guards Paul George from LA? Danny Green.
And the thing with it, another thing that sticks in their favor is that their cast of players from the Clippers are good.
Yes.
You know, you got what's the name that comes off the bench.
Yeah, Williams.
Williams, he is awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean,
could score with the best of them too.
He's awesome.
He's always just been like one of the best scorers,
Yeah.
and he just does it consistently.
Yeah.
You don't hear anything about him; just cruises along. You know, he can bang in 40 if he really wants to.
The thing that messed them up when they got Kevin Durant mad, when he had to drop 50 something on them to quiet them down because they beat him 2 games.
Yeah, I know.
And that's without Kawhi and George.
Yeah.
It just, to me, I mean, to be honest, I think it's going to be at the time when it happens. It depends on who's hurt or whatever. If both teams are healthy, it becomes a flip of the coin.
It's going to be great for LA either way. I think it's going to be the first time you're going to see conference finals both LA. But that's the thing we were saying before, how Kawhi sits out so many games. It might not be a conference because they might face each other early because they might lose some games because you're choosing to sit out.
And then they finish third. And then, second place, whoever they play.
Yeah. Well, they lost to New Orleans, didn't they, a couple of days ago?
Yeah.
And he sat out. Yeah.
So that's,
And he had Paul George get 33 and then Lou Williams got 31 that game.
But fourth plays 5th in the first round, and the winner of that plays the 1 seed. So if they go, we're going to turn it up come playoffs.
It's going to be but the West is always like anyone's game in the West, like except for when Golden State was just destroying everyone in the West. But
but it's more open now.
It's open.
My boys aren't involved, so
the Bulls. If you flip the table upside down, then you got a shot, man.
That's all front office job though. It's a shocking front office. I don't know what they're doing.
Chicago, yeah.
We've had Thibs worked out well, but besides Scott Skiles, we haven't hired a head coach that's had head coaching experience. They've all been rookie coaches.
Well, the problem is they give the rookie coach a 5-year contract straight off the bat. Like they play half a season, doesn't even do well that half a season really. And to be in the defense, they don't have the best squad to really work with. But then they're giving them another 5-year deal, which they just had to pay out another coach for, which they didn't fulfill the 5 years for, and they keep doing the same mistakes.
Yeah,
and then you trade players for nothing in return. Like that was where they really went wrong.
Because they hired Hoiberg. Yeah. And his first 2 years, they were still paying Thibs the last 2 years of his contract. And this year they're paying Hoiberg's last year.
Chicago, the last time they had a successful season when Derrick Rose was playing?
2011,
It was Thibs last year. So Thibs last year, we finished 3rd in the East, won 50 games, lost to Cleveland in the second round. The year after Hoiberg took over, that same roster with Palgas on it, they didn't make the playoffs. Then D Wade came over and we finished with 41 wins, took Boston to 6 games, and we haven't been in there since. They traded away everyone. So I'm like, what are you doing? And then everyone goes, how can we get Anthony Davis to go to Chicago? You can't.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to play for their home team, but no one wants to go to play for the Chicago who's from Chicago.
D Wade wanted to play for him and left straight away.
It says a lot.
It's like New York. Nobody want to play for New York either.
And they're probably the 2 worst organizations, and they're just like, when do you say enough's enough? Like if you're an owner, how long would you wait until you really went for a title? Chicago's going, this is 22 years now. New York is 74, I believe, is their last one.
So what do you think about being a little more closer to home, about the 36ers and stuff like that?
I mean, dude, I'm when it comes to 36ers, I'm going to be a little bit more quiet about that right now because what I want to talk about locally was LaMelo Ball in Illawarra and Sydney the other day getting 17,500 at the game, which is like a record attendance for the NBL. So that's showing really good things for the NBL. Sixers, man. Laurie, you're the expert on the Sixers. I'll leave this to you, man.
I love them like I love the Bulls. They're my 2, I bleed blue and I bleed red. I just think...
I think the organisation's run pretty similar to Chicago, to be honest. I mean, there's a lot that I've seen mistakes in the front office that have caused them to be in the position that they were in, and things that you see and things that you hear, and then when it reflects onto the court, it's like, well, you can kind of see where it comes down from the top in some instances, and when there's unbalance, you know, it affects the team, you know, and then it's the same thing, and players traded, and I mean, that's how I see it. It's pretty similar run to Chicago.
I think definitely in Joel we've got the coach that can take us there.
100%.
He's taken us there twice.
100%.
Yeah.
We didn't lose those grand finals because he got out-coached. I think we probably lost those grand finals purely because the other team, that the franchise just pays more for players.
And that's the thing.
It's you can only work with what you got. No disrespect to the players we've had. We've had great players. We've had hungry players. We've had players that have given everything to this team. And I was fortunate enough to be close enough to some of those teams. But I think at some stage, you just can't compare to teams that are spending
3 times more than you, right?
But you'll never find out that they are spending more. You know, there's no way Melbourne United are spending the same as the Sixers. Perth, no chance. Chance. It's just, you'll never get someone saying, yeah, you're right, we spend. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But to the keen eye, to the people who really know the sport, the people who've been involved, you know, it's just it is what it is. You know, and I really think that's the changing.
I think you're 100% right, but you know, I've been around this program for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Right, and you know, I've dealt with them a lot. I think with this club, a lot that has to be desired is having respect for each other. We have always been a family, right? It's always been a community of relationships and families. From the clubs. That's been the forefathers of it. You know, Britt coming from Sturt, me coming from Westies, Mark coming from South. Just everybody that comes from the club comes from a family, and the support we have. So when you do get different management in and different people coming in, I think they lose concept of what we're about as a family and as what we respect. Respect. Because I've always said, you know, like growing up through life, my mom and them always said, yo, dude, one thing you better have is respect for people. Because once you start, you know, lying to people and start disrespecting them and what they do, it's going to come back to you. It's going to come back to you, and it'll come back to your organization. You know what I mean? And that, I'm not saying it is happening. No. But something is happening. Right? And, you know, I go to every game. I see the look on people's face. You know, I could see the look on players' face. You know them like I do. And I go, you're not happy. They don't look happy.
It's true, man.
I mean, like, honestly.
You can see it. And I don't know the players like you do. I'm a really big basketball fan, and I love it. But, like, you can tell. 100%. And you look at that and you compare it to, like, NBA players, and they're, like, happy as Larry on the... just having the time of their life. And you come here and you see and you hear these things about mistreatment and things not being done the right way, and you see the look on the player's face, and it's just like, well, there has to be some backing to that, man, because if you're doing something that you love, which you've tried your whole life, when you're playing at that standard, and you know, NBL is getting the best exposure it's ever got now across the world.
100%.
You know, so if you're not excited to play the NBL right now and you're a basketball, like, there's something wrong with you.
Something wrong.
There's definitely something has to be wrong. You know, like I'm saying, in the background that we can't see on the court.
And like I say, I am not saying anything out the way and being nasty to the Sixers.
No.
I'm just saying I'm a spectator. And I'm just looking at the players, and you know, coach, players, everything else. It comes from the top.
Man. Because the coach is amazing. Like
Joey's
Joey, great coach, man.
He knows the game.
He knows the game, and he's a smart guy. Joey is nobody's dummy.
And what he's done on a budget, like, let's be real, like, it's the equivalent of like the Phoenix Suns right now, like, being in the finals. Like, that's the equivalent, like, of money spent. You know, in the end, like, it's ridiculous what he's done.
Let's be real. If Childress doesn't get injured, we win that grand final.
No, definitely.
Let's be real. That's 100%, and that's a team. That's against a team that spent a few million.
But see, but you know what comes to fact with when that's sports. Right. You know, we can easily say that because you know who can say it, and really say it is the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah.
Oh, that would definitely be
twice.
Yeah.
Two people.
Yeah.
Even if they had Clay, they probably would have won.
3 MVPs,
Yeah.
man. Like,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right?
100%,
So, and
yeah.
then, we don't want to talk about, Kevin Durant. You know what I mean? Toronto wouldn't have had it. But going back to home, but like I just hope that they can realize before it's too late. Try to fix it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just broken. You can fix it.
Yeah.
But it comes from the heart and being honest. That's all. That's all. I think honesty will help fix those wounds that I think the players are feeling a little bit. Like I said, I don't talk to none of them.
Yeah.
I used to have the input with Nathan. He's my guy. I don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
I just go to the games. I go with my boys, and we enjoy. Try to watch.
Just be a fan.
Just be a fan.
Yeah.
But it's sad to see the look, and like you
Yeah,
said
man.
yourself, that you can see. And I honestly think that the people up top need to really, really take another look at themselves. Look in the mirror.
Yeah.
It's off the court as much as on the
Yeah.
court. So I look
Yeah.
at. I mentioned the '86 team,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I think arguably the second greatest team is probably the '99 Sixers. Phil Smythe. That team, 98, 99, back to back. You look at them and you go, yeah, but look at the '86 team and look at the '98. All right, yes, we were talented, but look at the relationship you have with Ken Cole, with your teammates there.
Yeah.
You're like brothers. I still see, not like I'm there, but like on Facebook, Scott Ninnis hangs out with
There you
Brett
go.
Maher,
Yeah.
Ruben Sample,
Yeah.
Paul Riggs,
Yeah.
Kevin Brooks.
That's right.
They're brothers.
It's a family.
It's a family.
Yep.
And were we talented? Hell yes. But that's why you won the championship, because someone messed
so
with your
true.
brother.
Yep.
You didn't stick up for him because he was a skilled player in your team and we need him. You just messed with my family.
That's right.
And I remember the game 2 of the grand final in '98 versus Southeast Melbourne Magic. They only lost 3 games that year. We finished second with 18-11 record. It's sad that I know that, but we swept them, and we won by 28 in game 2. And Phil Smythe was getting interviewed the day before the game, the day of the game, and they were doing a shoot around. The Sixers were play fighting on the ground and mucking around.
Yeah.
And then they went over to Brian Gorges and his, and they were like, strict.
Yeah.
And they were saying, Phil, it's a bit of a playful atmosphere. He goes, we're just taking it lighthearted. But they knew.
They knew.
They played together, had fun. That was their grand final shoot around.
Yeah, man.
Let's just muck around.
Yeah.
And we spanked them from first siren to the last.
There's no pressure on you. You go in there and you just play.
Yeah, man. And that's what like Adelaide is sort of built on, is being like a family, man.
Yeah.
Because it's like, we cop slack from Melbourne and Sydney for being like a small country town, blah blah blah, right? But at the end of the day, like, we're like one big family that stands up for itself against the big dogs.
Yeah.
We're a great sporting nation.
Man, and
It's
it's
a
one of the
city.
best things about
City.
South Australia is the ability to play sport. Everything's close. You can train like 20 minutes away. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you can raise a family. You can be in a family.
That's
you can
right.
be in a sport family. Like, you have the options to do all that here.
Yeah.
And we're very proud when it comes into interstate and against Victoria and New South Wales, all that sort of thing.
That's where I think some people don't get it.
No, and that's what I'm
the
saying.
sad part. That's the sad part. So whatever happens, same thing. I know how you are. I feel I'll always be a 36er because I got my name and number
Absolutely.
hanging up on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help myself.
Yeah, man.
Try to be a part of it, right? But
You're part of the building,
yeah,
brother.
part of
That's
the
it.
building,
Like,
but
yeah.
It just really hurts
Yeah.
to see the respect factor to what makes a club tick has been disrespected.
Well, it's good that you guys are working with the youths now, because then at least you can instill some of that into them before it gets to that point. And one unique thing about your camps as well, Al, is that you do take a team back to the States.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah, we do. It's what we call Tristar USA trip.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at doing one usually I'm going by now. We do ours in November, but I took a year off. We're doing the next one next year, and look like I'm taking my school, the Westminster school that I coach at, that I've been there for 20 years, and we're having some of the TriStar kids to come along as well.
Yeah.
And,
What an experience, though.
Yeah,
just in
no,
itself.
like I said, LSU, we'll be going there. We're looking at going to Hawaii.
Yeah.
Because one of the girls, she's playing there now, and the coach invited us if we wanted to come, so we might stop.
So go to Hawaii.
It's on our way. It's on our way.
Yeah.
And we're gonna do that.
So just an experience like that would just change a kid's perspective in life. Like that might make them love the sport 10 times more than that.
Yes.
But when we were growing up, there was no camps. That's the thing. Your first camp was probably the last year I was eligible to go to one. You know, everyone thinks I'm young, and I'm going to be 40 next month. You know what I mean?
I really shouldn't be here. I just couldn't.
Because you know there was nothing like that. You know, now you got school holidays, you got Sixers camps, you got this. Where was that when I was growing up? You know, and then people taking a team to America. No.
Even with the camps, and that's what I was saying with your thing. You know, when these kids get to that next age, we need to talk and we need to say, okay, when they're 7, 8. That's when they can get introduced to going to camps and starting to get that rule in their head. They're not on computers, they're not on things, because when they leave you, what happens then?
Well,
you know what I mean?
That's right.
You know what happens then. So you gotta keep introducing them to new ideas of playing the game and being involved in the game.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna talk to you after, because our camps, because when do you run yours? You do yours all year round?
I can do mine all year round, yeah.
See, I only do my camp once a year.
Yeah.
Right? And it's, this coming up year is January the 13th to the 17th.
Yeah.
Right?
January 13th, so it's 13th to the 17th. Where do we find out about that?
I got some pamphlets and posters in there.
Oh, sweet. I'll put it on there. I'll put it up for you.
You can put, if you can, that'd be great.
Awesome.
And like I said, we need to talk because we're doing the academy too.
Oh, beautiful.
Right? Yep. We got an academy happening, Tristar Academy.
Yeah.
And that's what the camp is named now.
Yeah, Tristar.
Right? And I got some people that's been involved in this club teams and everything else that we're trying to mix it up. Like, I work at night, so it's kind of hard for me to do it because, like I said, I'm in titanium.
Yeah.
So I got guys that's been in clubs environment,
beautiful,
that know how to run them, that has been running them. He's basically under my umbrella.
Yeah, nice.
And we're reaching out to kids. What ages, whatever we can do.
Yeah,
we want to make happen because we want to keep the game growing in South Australia.
Oh, man, well, like I said, it's the attention's happening. We've got to take advantage of it now, and like by getting the young ones involved and sparking that love and passion. I mean, we won't find anyone more passionate than Laurie about the game. So there's no one better to be around your kids than someone like him.
That's why we need to bring them to the camp.
That's it, man.
But it's good. I find instilling kids as well. It's good to find that passion. Well, my kids myself, they don't have to play basketball. I'd be lying if I said I don't want them to. But if everyone asks me, what do you want your children to take after you? And I said, just a passion for something.
Yeah.
As I remember growing up, I've always loved basketball. And everyone said, when you get older, you won't. But I do.
You do?
My love for the game, it keeps evolving every year. It doesn't stop. And I'll love it to the day I'm not, to the day I pass.
I mean, and that's what I say that me and him have, I don't do it for the money.
No.
Because I got like a little deal happening with, because if I ain't make no money by now, I ain't gonna make no money. Forget it. I've been doing the camps for 24 years. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't tripping. You know what I mean? I know. It's all about the love and satisfaction and seeing people come up to you at the end of it, say thank you so much. Because my son had a great time. He called me and was telling me how much fun he's having. Yeah, that's my
makes
pay.
It worth it.
That's my pay.
Yeah, man.
That's what it's about.
And,
I love that.
And that's where I know you feel what you feel and what you're doing.
Because that's genuine, man. That's actual genuine love. Like you
can't fake that.
You
can't fake that. If someone's coaching, it doesn't have to be basketball, anything. Even teachers in school. If someone's doing it purely for a paycheck, you'll know.
You'll know.
Because you just, I could do a clinic and kids not make one shot, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to say, because
you pay. I had a school holiday session. There was one child who just couldn't get a shot in.
Yeah.
After they left, the session was only an hour. Everyone left. I did not let him leave. I said, "You're going to hit a shot before you go," and he finally hit a shot. The look on his face. That's it. He hit one shot, but that's it.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? If I just wanted the money. I said, oh, no worries, next time, wait for the next school holidays, you know.
Yeah.
But his
It's
the mum was so happy, and because he tried, and he actually came to my camp with 2 broken toes. So I gave him one of my new basketballs. I said, here, take it.
Wow.
And he was over the moon. And like, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm sure he will be, come back again.
That's what we should do. We'll talk after this.
Sure.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm always talking about growing the game, and you starting at a younger age. Like you might get in there and want to work with the under 10s.
Yeah.
That's that next jump from what you got.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
So your kids is there, and then we can work out something with you. We might have some of the other kids that have brothers and sisters that's younger.
Yeah.
And then we can tap them into what you're doing. Because
Definitely.
most of these are young families.
Yeah.
So they got the young one, oh no, he's too young. No, he's not. Because we got the guy that's been working with your kid here.
Yeah.
This is what he do every day.
Yeah.
This is his thing.
It's perfect, man.
You know what I
That'd
mean?
be great. Yeah.
So, Laurie-
we can make it work.
Definitely.
Lorenzo, where do we find out about your stuff? What's your social medias and all that?
So I've got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Everything you need to know about Mini Hoopsters. So just go to Mini Hoopsters on the Facebook. All the information's there. It's got our web link. Like I said, we just started advertising for a domestic team. I do really want to get that because I think that would be great. So what we're looking for in regards to that, it doesn't have to have a skill base, but it's a little bit more than social. So it's someone who wants to play district. So if you're not quite at the district level, that's fine. This is where you come and play. So our training sessions will be just purely development. Your footwork, your rebounding, your boxing out, the basic fundamentals. And then when someone is, I think they're probably at a district level now, then my responsibility is to let them, let Woodville see them first. They're allowed to play wherever they want, but my responsibility is to hand them to Woodville first. But see, like my daughter, for instance, if she comes in, she might turn around and say, I might hand her over, but she might say, no, I want to play with her Adelaide like Daddy did. That's fine too. But that's the part of basketball I love, is the development.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So because I think some coaches get too stuck in plays and stuff, and that's why the development's not there. So some of the district trainings that I've done, I've been told there's no penalties for the. It's like, well, I do a drill where I did when I was in juniors, 70 baskets, 75 in 5.
Yeah.
And usually you get away with penalties if you're 60, 65, but these teams were getting 15, 19. That's all right, we'll try next time. I said, no. Baseline. And the other coach goes, man, you're really, a beep word. And I said, well, how are you going to learn if you think that's acceptable? There was 3 teams on the court. They made 15 in 5 minutes. 3 teams.
Yeah, well.
So, but if you don't say, you don't have to be harsh, but just do a suicide.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it next time, let's just get it. So this is what I love about it. It's going to be development.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about, and that's what it always will be.
No, that's good.
Instill the fundamentals, man, because that's what's needed at that age.
And then, when the same thing we're saying, because we get probably about, 30 under 10s.
30 under 10s, yeah.
30, that's a good number. So if they got younger brothers and sisters,
That's right.
Yeah.
that's still, and they seeing him doing what he has to do with them,
Yeah.
right? Then that's when you go with yourself.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Say, look, hey, bring your little sister, because you see what I'm doing with your little brother, the older brother.
Yeah.
And they're
You
not
can do
too
it too.
young. You can do it too. By the
That's
time
where it
you get to this, you're gonna be more advanced.
Yeah. Than your brother. Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And that way you have more fun at a camp.
At a camp.
Yeah.
Because I was quite advanced when I went to a camp, and I did well, and that was more fun. If I was someone who didn't know, and that's the thing. So we're looking for boys and girls from 6 all the way up to 18.
Oh, crazy.
So boys and girls, all welcome.
All right, I've got to cut us off there because we're already over because we love to talk, and I've been going to a million more stories of you. So we might have to do episode 2 of this, but which will be fun too. But just before we go, so tips for NBA, NBL champions this year for both. All right, Al, we'll start with you. NBA.
Like I said, it's just gonna be a flip of a coin. I don't think anybody's gonna come out of the East to win it. You know what I mean? I like Philly, but they don't have those shooters. I'll still say that flip will be LA.
Yeah.
I can't.
I can't see anybody else.
Yeah.
In the West. I mean, anybody else
really competing up there. Yeah, because what Boston might come out in the East really, but
they don't have a big. They don't have. They lost when they lost both of those. Dude, what's his name?
Yeah.
Al Horford and even
Baines in Phoenix
were
now.
good. Baines were good.
Apparently they're going to try and trade for him, I heard today. Yeah,
right.
Why they let him go?
I don't know why they let him go. Especially when they lost Horford. You know what I mean?
And he had a solid season. Baines had a solid season for Boston.
He did.
Yeah.
So it's not like
he's starting to shoot the three. He's starting to shoot the three now as a big man. And NBL? Yeah?
NBL.
Oof. Another tough one, eh?
That is a tough one.
A lot of good teams this year.
It's like
I like Sydney. I like Sydney because I think Bogut he knows how to win, you know, and he's a big man that he's gonna block, you know, you're gonna block shots. He's gonna test. He's gonna do all the little things for them, and he's a great passer.
Yeah.
So you know, people like
great
Casper is gonna get his just by cutting, or like you remember Newley.
Yes.
Newley's gonna cut. So I would go with Sydney. My second pick, I think Melbourne's gonna hit their straps because they got a good team.
Yeah.
Right, and then I think it's those two. But Sydney's my number one, and Melbourne's my number two.
Perth keep proving everyone wrong.
Wildcats.
Perth are a well-oiled machine.
Consistent well-oiled machine, yeah.
Front office to towel boy.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I do like Sydney.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Perth for you?
Probably Perth.
Yeah.
Until they're proving, I mean, they've won 4 out of the last 5.
Yeah. I think that's where they're coming to. You know, it's almost like the Golden State Warriors. You know, the two people they rely on is the two American guards, right?
Yeah.
White and
Cotton, yeah.
He's unstoppable.
Even though he had an average game against Adelaide.
Yeah.
Other people did step up, but for me, I just think Sydney's got
too much.
But that's your opinion.
No.
We'll see what happens.
Sydney versus Perth grand final.
Wildcats got some good shooters, so if they're hitting their shots, man, anything can really.
But you can leave Damien. I mean, there's a Damien Keel. What's the Damien? There was a little guard
for
Martin. Perth. Yeah,
Damien Martin.
Yeah, you can leave him open, and I take my chance. I say, I'll give you 10. If you make 4, y'all be lucky.
Yeah. And Leash is still to come back for Sydney.
There you go.
He's still out.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, Sydney. Always Sydney.
All right, that's it. All right, well, thanks guys for coming on. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
And we'll see you next time.
Done.
All right.
Thanks,
dude. All right.